Howdy folks, you're watching Deuce, and this is my 13th annual Black Friday firearm special. I know I've been doing this for 13 years. I cannot believe it, but I did the math and it checks out. If you're not familiar with myself, this channel, or this video, every year I basically scour all the different ads from all different brick and mortar stores and some of the online stores as well, and find the best, most cool deals on firearms, ammunition, and just different sporting goods things related to firearms. Here is a list of all the stores we're going to go over, and while I'm discussing each individual store, I will put their logo down here in the corner of the video so you can scrub through the video and find whatever stores interest you most. Please note, none of these stores know I even exist. I have no incentive structure with them. I get no sponsorship deals, nothing from them, no money exchanges hands between these stores, any of the products I mentioned today, and myself for this video. Not at all. Truth be told, YouTube will also demonetize this video, so I'm making zero money on this video. Why do I make this video? Because I love guns. I love the sport of shooting. I want more people to enjoy the sport of shooting, and the best way to do that is to lower the price of all the firearms and ammo you can, and hopefully that'll bring more people into the fold and we can enjoy more shooting together. For our first store, let's take a look at Academy Sports. Now, like last year, unfortunately, Academy Sports is not advertising any specific firearm sales in their nationwide advertising flyer. But each individual store will have certain firearms on sale for a Black Friday. So I don't know exactly what will be going on in your particular store, but I can almost guarantee that they will have a good deal on Heritage Rough Rider revolvers, but they are having a couple other cool sales, and we'll talk about those right now. For 30 bucks, you can pick up a classic Red Ryder BB gun at Academy Sports. Number one, don't shoot your eye out, kid. Number two, I have heard that they're not quite as good a quality as they used to be when I got mine under the tree around 50 years ago. But for $30, you can introduce a young child safely to the sport of shooting, and that sport, that interest in shooting, can stay with them for the rest of their lives. I am living proof of that. 120 bucks will get you a Sig Romeo 5 Red Dot, which is perfect for those flat top AR-15s that you can find on sale during this Black Friday as well, possibly at Academy Sports. The rest of the nationwide deals at Academy Sports is all ammo based, which is fine because they are really good ammo deals. First of all, you get 200 rounds of 9mm from either Blazer or Winchester, either one of those options, for $34. It has been a good while since I've seen 9mm at 17 cents a round, but there you go. For $77, you can pick up 200 rounds of Winchester White Box 5.56, so like this, but a much larger box. And the last thing at Academy Sports they've got is 100 rounds of 12-gauge Winchester Western shotgun shells for $32. And next up is Bass Pro Shop and Cabela's. About 8 to 10 years ago, they combined forces, and now their Black Friday specials are identical between the two stores. And starting off, they're going to have the Beretta A300 semi-auto 12-gauge or 20-gauge shotgun for $750. For you deer hunters out there, they've got 3 different combo kits ready to go out the door. First of all will be the Savage 110 VSX Hunter XP. It's available in several different calibers, so depending on the store, you could have 308, 30-06, 6.5 Creedmoor, all the normal things you'd see in a hunting rifle. This one, the Savage, will be available with a Vortex 4-12 power scope, and it does have a threaded barrel for $600. The second hunter's kit is the Browning AB3. It's available in different calibers, so all the normal hunting calibers out there. It'll be a non-threaded barrel, unfortunately, but it does come with a loophole scope for $700. And the third hunter's kit they've got going on at Bass Pro and Cabela's is the Ruger American Generation 2, available in 6.5 Creedmoor, 243 Winchester, 308 Winchester, 30-06, also 350 Legend for you straight wall states. That's going to be coming with a Vortex Crossfire 3 to 9 power scope, I believe, and that kit will be for $600. I'm not sure if the barrel's threaded on that, but possibly. I couldn't tell from the picture. For $250, you can pick up a Ruger 1022. It will look nothing like this. It is the bare bones basic polymer stock with a no-name 3 to 9 power scope. $250 for that is not the greatest price I've seen so far this year, but if that's your only option and you have been hankering for a new Ruger 1022, there you go. For $775, you can pick up a Winchester SX4 semi-auto shotgun in 12 gauge. Now I know this is the pump action version. I do not own the semi-automatic version from Winchester, but the pump action has been flawless from day one with me. And a friend of mine does have the semi-auto, and he loves the thing. So $7.75, there you go. As far as ammo is concerned, Bass Pro and Cabela's is going to have deals on 300 round boxes of 5.56 and 50 round boxes of 9mm. The 5.56 will run you $135 for 300, which is a pretty good deal per round. And the 9mm is at $11. You can pick up a Holosun 507K X2 for $250. I personally don't have any experience with the 507K, but I did buy this Holosun Red Dot many years ago. It has been swapped around from one rifle platform to another constantly, from bolt actions to semi-auto, and it has been flawless. It has been beat all to high heavens, and it still works perfectly fine. The last thing at Bass Pro and Cabela's is the Walker's Razor hearing protections, the electronic hearing muffs that I use almost on a daily basis. Now, these are going to be $32. They do not come with the gel pads nor the extra padding, so I do highly recommend get on Amazon and buying those add-ons as well if they don't have them at the Bass Pro and Cabela shop. But these are great for any kind of pistol use and rifle use because they are very slim as well. And next up is Bi-Mart. I have never been to a Bi-Mart, so I have no idea what they look like inside or how everything's structured inside, but they got some weird deals. Number one is the 20 round 5.56 ammo for $5. It looks like you can buy one box of 5.56 for $5. Also pick up some Tide for the same amount. I'm not sure what that actually means, but something to look for if you're looking for a random box of 5.56. For $450, you can pick up this Ruger American chambered in 7mm PRC, has a threaded barrel, and comes with a free box of ammo. I believe Bi-Mart has the record for the cheapest gun this year. For $80, you can pick up this single-shot shotgun either in 12 or 20 gauge from American Tactical. For $200, you can pick up a Rossi-made Rio Bravo lever action 22. Now, that's what it looks like up there. It won't look anything like this. This is set up for suppressor use, but it is a Rio Bravo, and so far throughout my testing, it works really well. Highly recommended for a budget lever action 22. Bi-Mart's having the same Winchester white box ammo deals like many of the other stores are having. For $15, you can pick up a box of Winchester white box 45 ACP. I didn't get a good look at the picture, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the normal 230 grain ball ammo, which is fine and dandy for a good old 1911. But for $47, you can pick up 1,000 rounds of Winchester 22, which is twice the amount of this right here. This is 500 rounds right here. And I always recommend to date your ammo when you buy it. This one I bought in 2011. Still haven't opened it yet. And lastly, they've got the classic Marlin BB gun right there for $25. Now, if memory serves me correctly, I looked at them before last year and I thought that they weren't made as well as the classic Daisy Red Ryder. But I'm going to bet that the classic Daisy Red Ryder is also not made as well as the one I remember when I got as a kid. And next up is Big 5. This year, Big 5 is a huge disappointment. There's only really one cool thing they've got on their Black Friday sales list, and that is the Beam & Raider 25 caliber pre-charged pneumatic air rifle. It's one of those that has a tank on it, and it comes with the pump for $175. Now, the pump being included, that's the big deal. That's what makes this the good deals, because that pump goes up to over 4,000 PSI, and they typically cost over $100 by themselves. I would love to have one of those just to test it out and see what they're like. And if they offer these on sale on the internet, I may pick one up from them. I remember over a decade ago, Big 5 was the place to go for cheap surplus. And you get Mosin Nagants for under $100 and SKSs for like $150 or $200 back in the day. And I guess once the surplus inventory dried up, so did their taste in firearms. Next up is Dunham's. Dunham's has, I believe, the largest list of both firearms and ammo discounts for this Black Friday. Starting off, they either have the Springfield Echelon with a red dot or the Hellcat with a laser. I'm not really a fan of the lasers. I'd rather have the red dot on there, but with a case and mags, $550 for either of those packages. I'm not familiar with Echelon too much, but I know people love that Hellcat. For $190, you can pick up a Taurus G3C, which is the upgraded version of this Taurus G2C. I've used this as a carry option. It is a great little pistol. I have actually not had any kind of issues with it whatsoever. Even with really weak target ammo, it still functions just fine. So $190, great carry option. And for you hunters out there, Dunham's has two different options for rifle scope combos. The first one will be a Savage XP rifle. I'm not sure what caliber it will be available in, probably several different various calibers in each store. Has a no-name scope on it. Who knows who the branding is? But for 300 bucks, not a bad price for something that can take down a deer. And for 350 bucks, you can pick up a Mossberg Patriot rifle. Again, various calibers will be available, but those calibers include a 350 Legend and a 450 Bushmaster for you straight wall states out there. I'm not positive, but I think the barrel might be threaded on these, so take a look at that. If that is important, that might be definitely worth the extra 50 bucks over the Savage XP model. And again, a no-name scope comes along with this rifle as well. For $100, you can pick up the Rock Island Armory TM22, the semi-automatic 22 rifle that is sometimes advertised as having a threaded barrel. It does not have a threaded barrel, so it is not a suppressor-ready firearm. But I have heard good things about it. For 150 bucks, you can get another 22 rifle that I like, the Winchester Wildcat. What's cool about this is that it will take Ruger 1022 magazines, which the TM22 will not. But you know what else takes a Ruger 1022 magazine? A Ruger 1022. You can pick up the classic wooden stock iron sight version of the Ruger 1022 for 200 bucks. We are back. The prices have dropped down to where they were 15 years ago, which is fantastic because they were outrageous for like 5 years. So now I'm very confident and comfortable with saying Ruger 1022 is the Lego of 22s. Just get one. If you don't have one already, just get one. 200 bucks. Best price you're going to see for a long time probably. For 550 bucks, you can pick up this Smith & Wesson M&P Sport, Sport 3 actually. It's the most upgraded version of it, but it's AR-15, 5.56 chambering. If you're ready to pick up your first AR-15, but you're not ready to spend a bunch of money on one, the M&P Sport is probably the best budget option, the highest quality budget option out there. For 90 bucks, you can pick up my very favorite Black Friday special, the Heritage Rough Rider Revolver, and the $90 includes the Magnum 22 cylinder. So you get 2 cylinders, a great little revolver. These are fantastic. It's old school, single action. It is fantastic. I love this. I love this pistol. I love this revolver. And it is a hoot to shoot. Everyone wants to try it out when you're at the range. And again, 90 bucks. There's nothing stopping you from owning one of these, except maybe a felony. Quick tip to identify the long rifle cylinder versus the 22 Magnum cylinder is that the 22 Magnum cylinder does not have the scallops in the cylinder versus the 22 long rifle. So you don't have to try to find that tiny little printing of 22 Magnum on your Magnum cylinder. Dunham is offering the Ruger LCP pistol, the original deep concealment pistol, for 180 bucks. It's chambered in 380 auto, which is not the greatest in self-defense rounds, but it will do the job. It's probably the least effective round that still does the job technically per the FBI specs. But the beauty of this thing is how small it is. Well, cheap too. It's cheap and small. Size of my hand. You can conceal this in your prison pocket if you're brave enough. Before we get to Dunham's ammo deals, the last good firearms deal they've got is the Ruger RMX 9mm Glock clone. I don't have one, but I hear it's every bit as good as a real Glock, which this is a real Glock. I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, Deuce, is the Ruger RXM compatible with the switches that are no longer compatible with the Glock V series that's just now coming out? I have no idea. But if that interests you, then it's probably worth a Googling. And now we're looking at Dunham's ammo deals. First of all, Federal 9mm, 200 rounds for $45. I'm not sure what the weight of the bullet is, but it's probably a plinking style weight, 115 grain, 124 grain, something of that nature. For 77 bucks, you can pick up 200 rounds of Winchester 5.56. I had this upside down. 5.56. That is a fantastic price for 5.56. Anytime you're under 50 cents a round, that is good. And keeping with the Winchester white box theme here, 50 rounds of 9mm for 10 bucks. For 20 bucks, you can pick up this 500 round brick of Arms Corps 22 ammo. Now, it's not the most accurate out there, but it is pretty good for being a budget branded item. Also, if you open this up, you basically have 10 boxes of 50 rounds apiece. And if you take apart one of those boxes, you get this guy. See, there's the box. You get that little guy. So you have a free target for every 50 rounds. I used this in a recent video, but I can't remember if I published that video yet or not. So you may be seeing this soon if you stay tuned. Unlike all the other stores that's just having the Winchester white box bulk sales, they've got something called the Federal Bulk Black Packs. Every single one of these is going to be $63. So 90 rounds of 300 blackout. That's cool. Not sure if it's subsonic or supersonic. 75 rounds of 7.62 by 51, so 308. I just did a video on how to reload that, but 75 rounds for $63, less than $1 a round. That's pretty good. Federal 5.56, you get 150 rounds for $63. And lastly, 90 rounds of 7.62 by 39. Now I'm curious, I wonder if that's going to be brass case, in which case it may be reloadable. So that's a whole hobby on itself, trying to reload 7.62 by 39. The last thing Dunham's has is safes. A ton of different sizes and shapes. So if you got one pistol you want to put in a safe, they got you covered. If you need a safe you want to walk into, they got you covered there as well, it looks like. Next up is Farm and Home. Now there's not a ton of offerings this year from Farm and Home, but the one thing that really stood out to me was for $600 you can pick up a Springfield 1911, full-size 1911, 5-inch barrel in God's caliber 45 ACP, 2 World Wars, comes with a case and several spare mags. So $600 for that kit, not bad. They also have all the same Winchester white box ammo deals that the other stores have. So $8 will get you 20 rounds of 5.56. $10 will get you 50 rounds of Winchester white box 9mm, and $15 will get you a 330 round box of Winchester 22. And lastly, there'll be 10% off any regular price firearms or ammo. Next up is Fleet Farm. Fleet Farm has probably the second place in the cheapest firearms offered. Number one is the Rock Island Armory single shot 12 gauge shotgun. If you need one of those, there you go for $90. Or also for $90, you can get the Rock Island Armory TM22 semi-automatic 22 rifle. I've had a few viewers chime in and say they're actually pretty good rifles for the price. Now remember, some of the advertisements will say it has a threaded barrel on it. It does not. That is a miscommunication with the other offering from Rock Island Armory that does have a threaded barrel. That one does not. So it's not suppressor ready. For $190, you can pick up a Taurus G3C 9mm pistol, and it comes with 3 separate magazines, which is pretty awesome. Now this is the G2C, so the previous generation G3C I think has a better trigger on it. I'm not positive on that, but there you go. For $190, you'll be set up for a pistol and spare mags. I do have a review on this particular pistol. I'll leave links up here and down below in the description of the video. Now this next one excites me. The Ruger 1022 with the classic wooden stock right there, iron sights on it just like the old school Ruger 1022s, $200. It has been a coon's age since I've seen one for $200, and that is a great sign of the times for Ruger 1022s. Now, I'm actually tempted to buy one again myself, even though I got this Frankenstein here. I don't have a classic example anymore, and I kind of miss having that. Next up, for $190, you can pick up this Winchester SXP pump action shotgun in 12 gauge. I'm not sure if it has a 3 or 3.5 inch chamber. This one has a 3.5 inch chamber, and it shoots extremely well, extremely soft shooting for a 12 gauge shotgun. $190, hard to go wrong. For $250, you can pick up this Browning Buckmark 22 pistol. Now there's a ton of really cool new higher capacity pistols out there for 22 that are nice. This is the classic design. This shoots really well, and I shoot this better than pretty much any other 22 pistol I have. For $250, you can pick up the G-Force Bullpup 12 gauge shotgun, semi-automatic. These are super, super fun. Now, this is not the G-Force version. This is the Tokarev version. I'm sure they're made in the same factory. They look almost identical, except this one has the American flag painted on it, which I guess is why it costs $250 versus $200, which is what I paid for this last year. It's a great little firearm. I've got a review of it. I'll put it up here. And it is just a fun thing to shoot at the range or on the farm. For you hunters out there, you can pick up a Savage Axis 2 chambered in 308, one of my favorite rifle calibers out there. I have a video about reloading 308 just last week, so check that out. But it comes with a no-name scope, not sure what the brand is. It may be branded Savage, who knows. But for $300, not a bad price for a new hunter. For $160, you can pick up a Ruger LCP pistol. It's chambered in 380 ACP, and it holds like 6 rounds or so in a tiny little magazine. Now, is this the best epitome of self-defense firearms? No, it's actually pretty marginal in abilities to protect yourself, but you can conceal this in a Speedo. So $160 gets you the most concealable firearm you can find. You have to buy the Speedo separately. Fleet Farm is also offering the Rock Island Armory 1911 in God's caliber 45 ACP in several different colors. So that's kind of a change in it. Several different colors available $400. For $10, you can pick up the Federal Self-Defense Jacket of Hollow Point ammo. It is very good for self-defense. Only 20 rounds in the box though, so 50 cents a round. That's pretty steep in general for ammo, but for high quality self-defense ammo, that's pretty par for the course. And if you're like me and you're a reloader, but you've been struggling with an old school chronograph that has seen better days, well, they got for $300 the Anton Rangecraft, which is one of those cool radar style chronographs. So if you reload and you either A, don't have a chronograph, or B, your chronograph is getting really long in the tooth and becoming unreliable, boom. It has super high marks across the board from everyone I know who's had one or shot with one. And lastly, Fleet Farm is having a 10% discount on all firearms and ammo that is either regular price or on clearance. Next up is Rural King. Rural King is offering for $540 the Freedom Ordnance AR-15 chambered in 9mm. From what I understand, it takes Glock magazines. Now, I've never had an AR-15 chambered in 9mm, although I do have the makings of one, and they do typically take Glock magazines. Of course, without an upper receiver, it's all flippy-floppy there, but they are very cool, and you can suppress them very easily. For $198, you can pick yourself up a Drya DY9Z pistol. That's a mouthful. But it's 9mm, holds 15 rounds, is a carry option, and I believe it is cut for a red dot, which is amazing. That might be the one I go for this year because I do not own any Glock clones. I do have real Glocks, and I have Glocks that I made myself, but I don't have any of the official clones yet. And for under $200, I don't think I could make one from scratch for that amount of money. Like many stores this year, Rural King also has the Taurus G3C in 9mm, set up for $207. Not bad. Again, I have a review out there of my Taurus G2C, this is the upgraded version of that, and it's been a fantastic pistol. No problems with it whatsoever. Unlike the other stores this year, Rural King's also offering the Taurus GX2 series pistol for $225, which is basically the same thing as this, but a better grip and a better trigger. It's basically just an upgraded model. For $360, you can pick yourself up a Ruger RXM pistol. It is a Glock 19 clone and a very good one from what I understand. I've not had a chance to shoot one yet, but I hear great things about them. Again, $360, quite a bit more money than the Drya pistol, which my wife saw that ad and said, diarrhea, why do I want a diarrhea pistol? Well, it's pronounced Drya. Keep in mind, I think the Drya pistol is set up for a red dot and the Ruger is not, even though it costs more money. Also for $360, you can pick yourself up a Smith & Wesson M&P Shield Plus. They hold 10 rounds. Now, I don't have one of those. I have been carrying the Smith & Wesson Shield, the original Shield, since it first came out many, many years ago. I carried it on the farm almost religiously every single day to the point where the pins started to rust in there because it got all sweaty and stuff. So it is a great pistol. Even if it was mistreated, like I've been mistreating mine, it still shoots without any problems whatsoever. But this one only holds 7 rounds. The Plus holds 10. If you want more of a full-size pistol, you can pick yourself up a Stoeger 9mm, holds 15 rounds for $184. Now let's talk about my favorite firearm special, and that is the Heritage Rough Rider Revolver. You can pick yourself up a 22 long rifle version only, no magnum cylinder, for $83. That is the cheapest I've ever seen this, and I've been talking about this thing for 13 years. If you don't have one, pick one up, $83. For $180, you can pick up a Rockland Armory TM22. Now, this is not the cheaper one. This is the more expensive one that looks like an AR-15, and I believe it has a threaded barrel. For just shy of $200, you can pick yourself up a G-Force AR-15 12-gauge shotgun. I believe they come with a 5-round magazine, and they're available in both 18 and 20-inch barrel designs. I don't actually have one, but I hear good things. But if you're looking for something more compact, for $270, you can get a G-Force Bullpup, very similar to this one right here. And I do have one of these, obviously. This is fantastic. These are great. Now, the $270 is not the cheapest price by far, but if you're looking for something with the stars and stripes on it, there you go. And now let's talk about internet retailers. Now, there's some caveats with buying firearms over the internet. Number one is that they cannot ship the guns straight to your door. That would be illegal in most cases, so they have to ship them to a local gun store of your choosing. While the prices you see on the internet will probably beat the brick and mortar stores that I have mentioned earlier in this video, you still have to pay shipping costs usually. You will still have to pay the state sales tax of where you're from, usually. And you'll have to pay the transfer fee of the local gun store, whatever they charge. That could range anywhere from $20 all the way to over $100 in some locations. Depending on that best local transfer fee you can find, that could possibly bust out any kind of savings you might be getting from going over the internet versus the brick and mortar local stores. Two of my personal favorites is Smoky Mountain's Gun and Ammo and Bud's Gun Shop. The reason is because they're semi-local to me. I can drive to them. It's a good drive, but it's a fun drive through the mountains. If I find a good deal there on the internet, I can go ahead and buy it and then drive by at my convenience and pick it up. Both of these stores do have great Black Friday specials, and they keep those suckers under lock and key. I've never been able to get any info from them early, so you'll have to chime in on their website on the day of because there's no telling what they're going to have. Case in point, last year I paid about $300 for this Mac 1014. It's a great semi-auto shotgun. You've seen it many times on the channel where I'm testing out the red dots on it. Also last year at Bud's Gun Shop, I picked up this Tokarev shotgun. I was not expecting to get this, but I did buy this. It was right at $200 for this sucker, and I do have a video review on this, and it is a great shotgun. Two of my other favorite online retailers for firearms is Kentucky Gun Co. and Palmetto State Armory. I've not actually bought anything from Kentucky Gun Co. for a couple of years now because usually I can find the same deals or similar deals locally, so it doesn't make sense for me to try to buy from them online and get it shipped to my local retailer when I can find it at my local retailer. I have bought a few more things through Palmetto State Armory, namely this upper. They have a ton of AR uppers every year. Well, they have sales all year long, but Black Friday will be better again. Just like the other two, the first two I mentioned, they keep their sales under lock and key and nobody gets them until those sales go live. There's one online retailer that used to be a huge favorite of mine, but no longer is because they just don't have any kind of good pricing anymore, and that is Classic Firearms. They used to have some great sales, and now their sales are no better than anyone else's regular price items. Right now, I think the best sale right now they've got is the Tokarev for I think $300 or $350 or something like that. Whatever that is, it looks like the same prices you get year round at other places. So they don't really have anything that interests me anymore, but they used to be a powerhouse in the surplus market and in the normal firearms market, just not anymore. This year is the first year I've had a couple of manufacturers reach out to me with discount codes for you guys. First of all, it's Longshot Manufacturing. Every time I bring out my highly modified High Point, everyone always mentions how great it looks and how awesome it shoots. And that is true. One of the reasons why it looks so good and shoots so well is because it's filled with Longshot Manufacturing parts. If you go to their website right now, Black20 will be the discount code and get you 20% off all of their items for the most part. I think everything in the store. Another retailer that reached out to me with a discount code for you guys that's active this week is RCBS Reloading. So if you go to their website and use the code DG15, DG15, you'll get 15% off their dies and some of their presses and just all the cool gadgets, gizmos that you need for reloading. They were pretty impressed with my 308 reloading video from last week, and they thought it would be beneficial to get everyone started because, again, my videos for reloading are really meant to be an introduction to the reloading process to get more people involved in the process of reloading ammunition, because if you don't have ammo, why do you have guns? Now, below the video, there's a comment section, and in the first comment, I will pin to the top and I'll add a bunch of other discounts that I come across from this point forward through Black Friday, especially if I see some good deals at Sportsman's Warehouse, which they have not yet released their Black Friday specials yet. So I will put that in there as well if they have some cool stuff there. One project gun I have in mind that I could not find a good deal on this year is a mare's leg. My goal right now is to find a really good deal on something like this. It's a 44 Magnum mare's leg, of course lever action, that is threaded for a suppressor. And I want to short barrel rifle it, put a full-size stock on it, and have a suppressed lever action 44 Magnum that is no longer than a normal lever action rifle. That's one of my goals for 2026. If you come across a good deal on one of those, please let me know down in the comments. I'll be much obliged. But that is it for my 2025 Black Friday Firearms Special. This is one of my favorite videos I make every single year. It's one of the few weeks out of the year that I feel like a full-time YouTuber. I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving. Now remember, this video is demonetized and I make no money on it, so hit that like button and hit that subscribe button for more of this, because I have more of this stuff on the way, including probably whatever I buy on Black Friday. I will be doing a video review on it sometime next month. As always, you guys have a great day. See ya.